Hi, my name is Alexander Westin. I'm part of the corporate strategic marketing team at HCL, and I manage HCL's brand in Europe with specific focus on continental Europe and the Nordic region. Today I'll be taking you through our new and revamped corporate deck and explain to you how this should be articulated. HCL's Employees First model has empowered our employees to ideate, and this has led to a culture where HCL employees, or idepreneurs, proactively creates and delivers customer-centric value. As a result, HCL creates relationships with their stakeholders that go beyond the contract, and it's this relationship that I will be discussing with you today. HCL began its journey as one of the classic garage startups back in 1976. From our humble beginnings, we have now grown into an enterprise with 90,000 employees spread across 31 countries and generating $6.3 billion in revenue. This has made us a truly global company that goes wherever our relationships take us. Our multiple service and product offerings across industries cater to both businesses and end consumers. The HCL enterprise at large comprises of HCL Tech and HCL Infosystems. HCL Infosystems operates primarily in India and emerging markets with products and services for end consumers as well as businesses. In fact, HCL desktops and laptops and tablets are amongst the market-leading products in India. HCL Technologies, which is the company we're working for, has 85,000 idepreneurs providing cutting-edge IT services across the globe and generating business worth $4.6 billion. HCL Tech started offering IT services back in 2003, by which time our competitors have already leveraged the Y2K opportunities to create ADM and ASM offerings and gain a foothold in the companies across the world. Our late entry meant that we had to do a lot of catching up, but it also provided us with the advantage of building a much more balanced service portfolio, spread across remote infrastructure management, engineering and R&D services, ADM and ASM services. And similarly, this happened across the industry verticals as well. Our portfolio of services have been delighting our clients across the world. In the turbulent business environment between 2008 and 2013, we managed to more than triple our revenues and margins, comprising of a period in between where we were the only IT company to see a margin growth in 9 consecutive quarters. Last year, our revenue grew by 13% and our EBIT by nearly 40%. However, what excites us the most is not this, but the continuous rise in what we see in our CSAT scores, which in the last year has grown by an amazing 18%. It is very interesting to see that HCL continues to deliver strong financial results and continues to create value for our clients in all business climates. What you will see in our relationships with our customers is that they recognize value which we add beyond the contract. The 2014 satisfaction rating in Forrester AppsWave makes it the second consecutive Forrester Application Services survey in which we've been rated as the best IT services provider. The way we handle our relationships also reflects in our stock performance. The chart you see on screen right now shows the industry-leading returns which HCL has achieved for its shareholders over the past year. While we believe that our relationship-focused approach is unique, let's have a look what others have to say. Gartner, for one, praises our relationship management and flexibility. Forrester lauds HCL's unique belief in unwritten flexibility. Ovum talks about the successful partnerships we enjoy with our customers. Jart recognizes our investment in relationships and dealing with our clients' challenges. And TBR talks about the commitment we have towards our employees and relationships with our customers. If you look at these quotes from analysts, it shows that our business model is not only being rewarded by the street, it's also being recognized and distinguished by top analysts who see us creating a unique business model. This HCL experience is also acknowledged by our clients. These are just a couple of our clients who believe in our investment in relationships. Many of our customers have spoken about the great work done by our idepreneurs or employees first philosophy and our strong focus on relationships. This can be reflected in our renewal rates, which are continuously rising each year and are at a high of 95.1% in 2013. Another unique aspect about our relationship with our customers is that they are mutually beneficial. If you look at our customers, they are amongst some of the biggest thought leaders in the industry. And to ensure that we always hear back from our customers, understand their business challenges, and utilize their knowledge and inputs, we have put together our Customer Advisory Council. Through the Customer Advisory Council, we establish a strong, trustworthy relationship with our customers. We get external viewpoints on where we are going and create a highly client-centric future path. Another way of utilizing our customers' thought leadership is through our CIO Straight Talk platform. This is HCL's award-winning platform for CIOs to share their thought leadership with the larger IT community. Our view on thought leadership at HCL is not to act as a purveyor, but as an aggregator and an enabler of quality thought leadership from our customer base. Leading business media continues to recognize us for our unique approach. And this year, Forbes recognized us as amongst Asia's Fab 50 companies for the 4th consecutive year. CNBC recently awarded us with the Outstanding Company of the Year Award 2013. And Bloomberg recognized us as one of the world's most influential companies, placing us in an extremely elite bracket with companies like Facebook, Apple, and Microsoft and Google. Our strong relationships rest on a foundation of strong values and beliefs. At HCL, we also believe that to enjoy great relationships with customers and employers, it is essential that the relationship rests on a strong foundation of beliefs and values. The 3 core values which HCLites believe in are employees first, trust, transparency and flexibility, and value centricity. Employees first is essentially a leadership model that inverts the organizational model and makes management accountable to employees. Trust, transparency and flexibility stands for the belief that all HCLites share in maintaining the highest standard of ethics and integrity, both in our professional and private lives. Value centricity talks about our culture of driving relationships which are based on a foundation of values and creating a sustainable long-term advantage both for society and business at large. This is our secret, and what you see on this slide is what makes us what we are today. HCL's first entrepreneur, our founder and chairman, Mr. Shiv Nadar, in as early as 2007 recognized and publicly stated the power of relationships. In a CNBC telecast, Shiv emphasized that at HCL, we don't hold anyone to contracts, because essentially it's not companies doing business with companies, but it's people who are doing business with people. Furthermore, the Economic Times has named HCL as a breeding ground for entrepreneurial talent. To ensure that we continue to leverage our culture of entrepreneurship and take our relationships with clients beyond the contract, we have in place 2 massive programs at HCL. The first one I would like to discuss is the Value Portal, which provides a platform for all HCL entrepreneurs to create unique value for our clients by ideating and innovating on our clients' behalf. Till now, over 20,000 ideas have been generated through Value Portal, and about 4,500 ideas have been signed off by customers, and the value delivered to our customers through these ideas amount to a staggering $263 million beyond the contract value. The second program is MadJam, which is a large platform for crowdfunding ideas and encouraging ideas and innovation at large. Over the past 3 years, 859 ideas have been generated by more than 7,000 HCL entrepreneurs. Every year, the final 3 MadJam ideas are selected and seed funded by HCL. Now, while our great relationships place us in a unique realm, it's also fundamentally what takes us beyond competition. If you look at the benchmarking reports released by analysts like Gartner, Forrester and IDC, what is unique is that across HCL service lines, whether it is application services, infrastructure services, or engineering and R&D services, HCL is the only partner to be rated as a leader across all the quadrants. In fact, none of our competitors like Accenture, IBM, Cognizant, or TCS managed to have a uniform presence in the leadership quadrants across service lines. What is unique about our perspective in relationships going beyond the contract is that we are disrupting the traditional markets of application support and maintenance, IT infrastructure outsourcing, business process outsourcing, engineering and R&D outsourcing, system integration, and traditional digital marketing operations. Now, the first wave of outsourcing is what we call the Gen 1 of outsourcing. This is all about offering outsourcing contracts that deliver value and cost efficiency. From here, HCL is moving to the next level and launching what we call the Gen 2 propositions, which are Alt ASM, Enterprise of the Future, Enterprise Function as a Service, IP monetization, Digital System Integration, and CCMO. Now let's talk about these in a little more detail. Alt ASM is HCL's approach to ASM for Gen 2 outsourcers. The whole Alt ASM proposition aims at creating an incident-optimized and an incident-free application support landscape, which at the same time is focusing on impacting business KPIs. One of the things which HCL guarantees in this proposition is a guaranteed 30% cost reduction, using principles like Lean and HCL's gold standard for ASM. We also optimize the service quality by using HCL's proprietary tool called Prism, which helps us in application discovery and documentation and application optimization. We also work with reducing the TCO by doing self-funded application portfolio optimization, moving legacy application to cloud, killing applications which are not required, and descaling the pyramid. All these are aided by Asset, which is our business transition repository. Asset has been tested and delivered risk-free transitions in over 100 global complex application support engagements. We also have a proven multi-vendor management framework, which actually uses scientific templates and processes to increase collaboration in a multi-vendor scenario. With the second proposition, we're actually trying to help customers and the CIO organization to build the enterprise of the future. This has three components. The first is next generation data centers. The second is bring your own device. And the third is enterprise voiceover. We're using the whole power of BIOD, mobility, and liquid infrastructure to provide customers with an enterprise which is enabled for the future. This has become very critical because employees are questioning the fact that they get better tech at home than they do when they get back in the office. And when they get back to the office, they're often faced with legacy applications on which the organization is being run. So, what Enterprise of the Future does is transforming the experience which the employee has with the enterprise with user experience design. Enterprise Function as a Service, or EFAS, basically looks at creating an extended enterprise function for business operations while impacting costs. In EFAS, we look at business ops transformation, IT standardization, platform transformation, and infrastructure consolidation. And this is to actually offer an enterprise function as a service across functions like finance, procurement, and legal compliance. This becomes very interesting because we align operations using EFAS and manage to deliver an approximate 25% reduction in business operation costs for these kind of functions. There are 5 key levers which enables us to deliver EFAS. The first one is integrated enterprise function services. Second is setting up shared services and creating utilities. Third is HCL's existing partnerships with best-in-class platform and tool vendors. The fourth is our flexible management models. And the fifth one is innovative commercial construct around EFAS deals. Our fourth Gen 2 proposition is IP monetization, where we include innovation as a part of the contract and aim to create a joint product development organization with our customers, where revenues and profits are shared between HCL and the product owner. This is for well-evolved R&D organizations which have the maturity to work with HCL on a risk-reward model, where the customer and HCL's R&D team jointly file patents. Innovation is also made more process-oriented and focuses on incremental and rapid feature enhancement and trying to create opportunities for value creation in existing patents. Our beyond the contract aspect for this proposition is that we have more than 250 strong domain experts that are engaged in filing IPs on behalf of the clients. We have filed more than 1,250 patents for top engineering companies in telecom and office automation. Some of the patents we've filed recently have been around mobile banking and cashless banking. The fifth proposition is what we call Digital Systems Integration, or DSI, which is designed to transform organizations to digital enterprises. Traditional enterprises today are facing the onslaught of the digital-born companies like Amazon, which have completely flattened the ground from competition and are disseminating the traditional value chains. These are the 3 broad components of DSI, which will enable the legacy enterprises to be reborn digital. The first one is Data Fabric, where we focus on using middleware, analytics, and big data to offer a 360-degree visibility of data and insight across the enterprise. This increases decision-making impact, creates a single version of truth, and results in actionable insights which the client can then use to make interventions which allows them to be market leaders. The second broad component of DSI is the legacy to cloud movement, which focuses on optimizing the legacy infrastructure and applications by either upgrading it or moving it into cloud. This is something we've done for many companies, and it allows them to be TCO light. It allows them to rapidly scale up and down depending on their business realities, and offer the organization increased flexibility with minimum disruption. The third key component of DSI is what we call the digital enterprise, where we use the power of mobility, user experience design, and multi-channel e-commerce to fundamentally rearrange the value chain and make it digitally enabled. This brings us to our 6th and final Gen 2 proposition, which is CZMO. CZMO is essentially what makes HCL the strategic partner for the CMO organization in this zero moment of truth. As we all know, decision making has changed substantially from the time when the consumer used to wait for the marketers to launch advertising campaigns on media such as TV, radio and print. And this would be the first time they saw the brand message. Today the consumer comes across a brand or perception about the brand residing in the market well before the advertising campaign actually reaches them. HCL offers CCMO solution in 3 parts to allow the CMOs to leverage and win in the zero moment of truth. The first part being integrated analytics, where we help the CMO to set up an insight command center, and we do predictive analytics modeling around customer insights, reporting and visualization, and creating a single view of data which could be structured in different manners and is currently lying in multiple marketing databases. Secondly, we enable the CMO organization to work closely with IT and create a multi-channel hub, which can be used for community marketing, creating an e-commerce model, campaign market automation, and channel creation on web and mobile. The third and last part of the CCMO solution is content rendition and management, where HCL picks up content and rapidly rendering it to fit multiple content platforms. So, to conclude this proposition, HCL will focus on enabling these parts of CCMO, which will allow the CMO organization to spend their time on change the business initiatives. Now, let's move on to our CSR initiatives and our initiatives in philanthropy. Engaging in and giving back in society is a vital part of the soul of HCL, and we ensure that we continue to give back to society in multiple ways. The Shiv Nadar Foundation is the largest transparent private foundation in the world focusing on education in emerging nations. Having already invested close to $500 million in the power of education to create exponential and inclusive growth. And the foundation is also committed to take this investment to $1 billion over the next 5 years. For this great contribution to philanthropy, Mr. Nadar was honored with the 2013 BNP Paribas Grand Prize for Individual Philanthropy. The HCL Foundation is using the power of community service and 90,000 entrepreneurs to impact communities. Power of One is a great initiative where all HCLites donate 1 rupee per day, which HCL then matches with its own contribution. HCL also has a strong focus on workforce diversity, with HCLites belonging to 96 different nationalities, and we strongly value the empowerment of women in the workplace. As a result of our efforts, we have been honored with numerous awards, with one being the Asia Pacific Enterprise Leadership Award for Corporate Social Responsibility. This brings us to the end of this corporate presentation. Our commitment towards a relationship that goes beyond the contract is well summarized in our Relationship Beyond the Contract manifesto. If you read carefully between the lines of a contract, you'll see room for a relationship. It is this relationship that makes us push the envelope to see beyond the clauses of A, B, and C. In such a relationship, you'll find interactions with trust, transparency, and flexibility. Because you see, a relationship is not just about a first party and a second party signing a deal on a piece of paper. It's about people coming together to create ideas, values, and sometimes even history.